inside trying to get by Haley. Haley was blocking, didn't want anything to do with it.
Well, we talked about it. We talked about it. The intensity of this race, picking up right off the start, a big block right on, lap 2. You don't normally see those blocks on lap 2.
Ryan Sieg in the 39, tucking in behind Harrison Burton.
Ryan's got to be excited. Ran 3rd here earlier this year, and they've improved since then. This team has got more speed. He's going to mix it up with these guys.
Improved equipment for the playoffs. Talked to some members of this 39 team, and they talk about having newer cars entering the playoffs. They feel that was going to help their performance.
Well, we talked to Brandon Brown earlier this week. He made the comment he wants to beat Ryan Sieg because these are team-owned, family-owned teams in the Xfinity Series. He wants to be the best family-owned team in the Xfinity Series, which means he's got to beat Ryan Sieg.
Be tough to do. Seeing these guys have really got their program rolling over the last couple of years. There's Brandon.
Hey, you guys mentioned that. Yeah, Junior, you mentioned that a moment ago, Ryan Sieg and that new equipment they have. This is actually an RCR car. It's the first time ever they have run a car from the shops of RCR. In fact, it left from Welcome, North Carolina, and came straight to Las Vegas. It's actually the car that Myatt Snyder ran at Pocono, almost won that race with, finished 4th there. And they asked, hey, is it possible for us to get a car to run in the playoffs? We feel like Vegas would be the race we would choose. We feel like it's the most important race of the playoffs for us. We'll see if this pays off for RSS Racing in the car coming from the RCR stables and also running well right now.
So Ryan Sieg up in front right now, or at least in front of the family-owned teams. Brandon Brown, again, overachieving, said when he made the playoffs, it was their goal. I mean, they accomplished.
Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence as he keeps running these races. He's going to mix it up with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, he runs well enough to make the playoffs. Junior, it was just, he didn't run the full season. How about this? Ryan Sieg has run Ross Chastain, the leader, down only 0.2 of a second back. We heard Marty talk about this car from RCR and the effort put into this 39 car. All right, what would it mean for this 39 if they could go to victory lane? I would have to say that would be an upset in this playoff field.
Yeah, for all the underdog fans out there, this is your guy, Ryan Sieg, and this team with some real speed here, Marty.
And they are looking terrific as he tries to get the lead from Ross Chastain. Let's be clear, they use RCR chassis all year long, but usually it's about a generation old. So this is the first time Ross Chastain has ever sat in a brand new RCR car, new for this year. And it's been run earlier this year, as we mentioned, and it's going well so far, going for the lead, Rick.
Yeah, you meant Ryan Sieg, I'm sure there. Ryan Sieg is the RCR car, and he's on the inside trying to take the lead away. Here is a team that has 4 or 5 full-time employees, and he's going right by Ross Chastain, trying to take the lead here in Vegas.
Chastain's not going to give it up, though. Going to make that outside work. Get on back on the outside of him down the back straightaway.
Cowboy Starlin, the crew chief for Ryan Sieg, came over, has been with this organization for quite some years.
Oh, man.
Yeah, sideways
right there.
Ryan Sieg. Cowboy Starlin used to crew chief for Carl Edwards back when he was driving in the truck series. So a lot of experience.
Anthony in the 21 car on the inside of Cindric. Cindric, I think, it was a car that I expected to do so well today at the 1.5 miles. He's been very good. But he's struggling right now, battling for 5th place.
It's interesting in these Xfinity races, though, with young drivers and no practice. We see a lot of cars that don't run real early, run much better later in the race. Let's see who can get better.
Steve, fuel not an issue for these guys in this stage?
No, they can run the first stage, no problem, up to 60 laps. So the first stage won't be an issue, and I imagine everyone will just put tires on at the end of that stage. As now we see the 39 on the left-hand side kind of run the middle of the racetrack. And 1 and 2, guys, you got to probably talk about it, more bumps than in 3 and 4. We've heard Jesse talk about the sun being on one end of the racetrack than the other. I really think some of the bigger difference, not just track temperature, but roughness. 1 and 2 has some really big swells around the bottom and the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, down in the entrance to turn 1 on the bottom groove. Very, very rough. Just ride along with Chastain here and see which way he goes. He's going to drive into the middle of the racetrack. It's not quite as bad here, a little smoother the higher you run up on the racetrack. That's certainly an advantage late in the run to go around track.
This doesn't surprise me, Junior. you know, middle, top 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. We've seen this pretty consistent races in the past year.
Yeah, you can move around here a lot. And even though that top groove will come in, there is speed on that bottom. It just doesn't become a totally top dominant racetrack like maybe Homestead or some other racetracks do. See Ryan back to the bottom. Ryan moving around, just trying to find that speed. He was about to take the lead from this 10 car. Now he's lost a little bit. 10 searched around and found some speed.
I mean, Ryan,
Big moment there.
Yeah.
39.
So this is big for Ryan Sieg in the sense that playoff points, I'm sorry, stage points. If he can get up here and get a second place finish in this stage, that's 9 stage points that he's going to be getting out of the beginning of this race.
That's a really, really good point, Rick, because also going into Talladega, he loves that racetrack. He loves racing at the plate tracks, and he will be one of those guys that will be aggressive in those first 2 stages to get more stage points. Some of those guys are going to be more apprehensive. He won't. He'll put it up in there and race hard.
And we're seeing the 98 come back into the screen here, Marty, after he fell back a little bit. It seems like things have come back together for him.
It's been interesting to watch the roller coaster ride for Chase Briscoe. Restarted 4th, fell briefly back to 7th, now back up to 3rd. Jeff, you mentioned spinning the tires on the restart. He talked about it on the radio.
Said, like, I don't get what I'm doing wrong on the restart. It's like if I don't bring them down somewhat fast, I lug so.
tags on the shoes.
Well,
You know,
you want to make sure to leave those on. You didn't know Mini Pearl, did you?
No, I'm too young for that. You've kind of got me in the middle now, Rick. I don't understand the tags. You got me stuck in a spot.
It's not a new thing. We're getting ready for the restart. Stage number 2 is underway. And look at him fan out here. 3 wide as the 22 in the middle. Austin Cindric trying to find a spot.
Yeah, I like that high side on these restarts. You pin down those guys on the bottom and get that momentum down the back straightaway.
Briscoe, Sieg, Chastain, Brandon Jones, new for the All-Star race, and Bristol taking in a lot of the fun that was that race. As we see right now, Ryan Sieg and Noah Gragson, and here comes Gragson. He's going to take 2nd away from Sieg.
That's right. You heard it. Sieg was in 2nd, still running well. 39 car. Noah Gragson, his hometown here, showing some speed.
I think it can't be said enough. Who is Ryan Sieg in front of? He was in front of Penske. He's in front of Gibbs. He's in front of RCR. He's in front of Junior Motorsports. He's in front of Colleague. I mean, he's putting on a show tonight. A very impressive run. And you see CMR, the construction roofing company that's on the hood there, that deal was put together last year for a couple races. This was a full season. And Steve, they've said, hey, we love what we've got here. We're coming back. And that's what Ryan Sieg is doing with running well.
And I think that's what makes this story so much more special for me, is this is a family-run team that continues to find a way to not just perform, but to build. Right now they have a partner that believes in them. They've used that support of the partner to get newer equipment, Marty. And here they are running in the top 3 of the first race of the playoffs.
Exactly the start to the playoffs they needed, Steve, for this RSS racing team. Ryan Sieg sitting in 3rd right now, although not very happy with lap traffic. These leaders are having to deal with that frequently, almost every lap, and Ryan has not been too happy with how lap traffic has treated him. Behind him is Austin Cindric, maybe not having the night they wanted on the 22, or maybe is it the night they wanted? Talked to Brian Wilson, the crew chief for Austin Cindric, early. Eric, you get the sense that Ryan Sieg, who sits behind this battle trying to get around Anthony Alfredo, knows what kind of car he has. The team knows as well. They gave him a pep talk before stage 3 started.
Game 7, baby. Michael Jordan, let's go. You're Michael. Let's go, baby. Michael Jordan was 23. He's a big boy.
One problem for Ryan, the AC hose has fallen out of the top of his helmet. They told him to kind of grab it if he could, stick it inside his uniform as best he could. He said it's pretty uncomfortable in the car. Even though it's cooling down in Vegas, it's still warm here this evening. But Ryan Sieg having a terrific run trying to get that 6th spot right now.
The best part of that was when he says, and you're Michael.
Just letting you know.
Just to clear that up.
Yeah, just to let you know. You're Michael.
Look at the 3 wide battle right here.
Oh, and not enough space there. Anthony Alfredo pinching down, and Ryan Sieg had to make a decision there as the 11 of Justin Haley goes by on the inside.
That report, his helmet hose is falling off his helmet, and on a hot night like this, that can be very uncomfortable. There's no air in your helmet whatsoever. Takes a toll on you.
We saw the thermometer earlier under caution. It was up to 120 degrees. So very warm there in Las Vegas right now.
So Sieg's got to be pretty frustrated right there. Losing a lot of track time to those guys he was battling with on the inside of the 21 of Anthony Alfredo. Now Sieg's going to try to get his speed back going, drive right back up to the back.
And Ryan Sieg coming down pit road, pitting the last of those drivers who are in the playoffs. Remember, he does not have that helmet hose. Jeff, and he slides too far in his pit stall, and they go forward. They're going to have to push him back. For a team that has been in the top 5 all evening long, for that to happen under green, they're going to lose a little bit of time here as well. And remember, he does not have that helmet hose, that cool air blowing into his helmet. He said, I need ice, I need water on this stop. Clearly very warm, and this stop very long for the 39 team after a terrific day on the track.
You have to ask yourself if the heat didn't perhaps, add some distraction to the driver to make a mistake to slide through the box. Plus the 39, one of the last cars to come to pit road, so the old tires are also going to cost him time. You just see, kind of overcooked it. That concrete looks slick, and then it was still in drive. It finally gets it in reverse, but between the mistake of sliding through and running long, this is going to be a 10 to 15 second penalty to the 39 as far as comparing him to the other cars. We'll see when he cycles back around where he ends up.
He was running 6 when he pitted.
Michael Annett still hasn't come to pit road, so he is being scored as the race leader. He was on pit road in lap 93.
To go down a lap, Kelly. They take the gamble, they get the caution, and Michael Annett pitted from the lead.
Ryan Sieg.
Also Ryan Sieg, yep, coming down pit road, and they're having trouble with the car turning, and after that bad pit stop, they thought, why not coming down pit road? And also Harrison Burton here taking the opportunity to come down pit road. So a couple of playoff cars here in the top 10 taking advantage of this caution here with 43 to go.
I like this call for Harrison Burton. He was the first car on pit road. He had the oldest of the new tires. Hasn't had the best night. Try to do something, Rick. Try to get on the other side of it. Maybe find some points, steal some points in Las Vegas.
Round of 12. Steve, the 39 team came to pit road. Looks like they might have had some issues on pit road when they were there.
Yeah, they did. You never want to have issues, but a good thing to have them at this point. And you see right here, there's an issue with the gun. So that's actually the front tire changer who's now going around the car to make sure the rear tires are tight. They had some issue with the rear gun. So like I said, you never want to have an issue, but luckily this time on pit road, where there's still some time to overcome it, 42 laps to go, and looks like there'll be 15 cars on the lead lap, and guys now.
Ryan Sieg's had a good night all night in that blue and white 39 car. Has to make sure to take advantage of it. Don't get caught up and get yourself in a wreck or something.
All these guys with the newer tires sort of racing each other.
Yeah.
More so than moving forward and taking advantage of the older tires in front of them.
Would 8 laps is hurting this 7 of Justin Allgaier. You talked about being the last guy on old tires is the worst case. Well, Allgaier is one of the last guys on old tires.
Allgaier running in the 7th spot. And the caution has come out. It doesn't look like Alex Albea was able to keep going. Even though he's on pit road, he's still in harm's way, and so the caution has come out. All right, crew chiefs, this is where you make your money.
Oh,
what
it's
kind
simple.
of decision?
If I have new ones, they're going on the car.
Yeah.
The only real question is, let's take Harrison Burton, who has no tires left. He has a set of 10-lap scuffs that we know he took off. He currently is sitting on 26-lap tires. Do they pit and put on those colder 10-lap scuffs, or do these tires cool enough where you're better off to just try to fire? With 13 to go, though, that is a hard.
Hemrick 3rd, Allgaier 4th, Sieg was 5th. Cindric, Annett, Anthony Alfredo, Haley, Brandon Jones, Ryan Sieg there in 7th. Probably the feel-good story of the night. Kelly?
Yeah, really solid points day and a top 5 finish for Ryan Sieg. That moves him from 8 points below the cut line to 9 points above. Ryan, there was a little bit of a miscue there on pit road that set you back at what point, but How promising is it to see this team, even after that, come away with the top 5 here on a mile and a half?
Yeah, it's huge for the CMR team, and the guys did an awesome job all night. Just driver did one little mess up, but we gained back to what we were running. But I was trying to get something to drink, so my helmet hose fell off into stage 1, so I was trying to get something to drink under that green flag and just kind of missed my stopping points on pit road. Just kind of screwed me up a little bit, but we got it back, and we're just super excited to be plus 9 in the playoffs and headed to Talladega, and we got the Roval, which something can always happen. So just can't be prouder of this team and all they've done, and just can't thank CMR and Steve and Jason White for all they do.
So how do you see these next couple of races as you look ahead? We'll start with Talladega. Can be unpredictable, but can also present an opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? We always go fast at Talladega and we had the fastest lap at Daytona and just miscue on the car. So we're pretty pumped to get there and hopefully get that win, or at least keep ourselves on the positive side of things, and just can't wait to get to the next 2. It's been a fun first race already. So.
Big result from this small team, Marty.
Kelly, all evening long, Austin Cindric kept saying, hey, we're getting the car